Hi guys, it's Adria. So it's story time. I know you guys love my stories. First off, I just wanted to kind of address something. Somebody asked if my stalker story video was made up, if I took that story from somewhere else. I wish I had made that up. I wish that didn't actually happen. I wish that wasn't true, but sadly it is. Such bizarre things happen to me while I'm at work that I don't need to make them up. And that brings me to this video. Bizarre things that have happened while I am working. I swear to you, none of this is made up. I don't need to make this stuff up. This crazy stuff just happens, and I don't know why. So the other day I was organizing my planner and I found this little note in the back that I had written months ago. And so it's basically just like a list of crazy, bizarre things that happened at my work. I wrote them down because I didn't want to make a video about them until I had a bunch. This list is filled, and I actually forgot a lot of these happened, so I'm glad that I wrote these down because I would have forgotten about these otherwise. The first bulletin I wrote is skinny dipping old man. I kid you not. Okay, so there was this old man that came in. It was just me working when he came in. So he ordered a to-go order from me, and it was gonna take like 10 minutes. So he was kind of just sitting around waiting for it to be ready. You know, I make conversations with people when they're waiting because I feel like that makes it nice for them because, you know, I would want someone to do the same for me if I was a social person. If I liked social interaction, I would want someone to do that for me. He initiated the conversation. I just kind of stood there and pretended to care. And he was saying, oh, there's this really nice lake right behind Walgreens. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, it's so private, you can go skinny dipping there. I was like, the hell? No, he actually said that. He was like, yeah, it's so private, you can actually go skinny dipping there. And I was like, okay, that's fine. It's not like he said I go skinny dipping there. Maybe he's just trying to say how private it is, that it's so private that no one would see you, that you could be butt naked and no one would see you. So then I go and I get his food, I bring it out to him. He says to me, would you want to go swimming with me sometime? Oh, what? These are my exact words, quote unquote. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass. I was so caught off guard. I don't think I've ever been more caught off guard by a question in my entire life. He didn't ask me per se if I wanted to go skinny dipping with him, but earlier, he said that it was private enough to skinny dip, and he then asked me if I wanted to go swimming with him. You do the math. So then that same guy came back a few weeks later. It was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks later. He walked there. He smelled of body odor. He looked hot. He looked sweaty, like he had been walking. So the second time he came, he had a dolly with him. I'm not talking about like a baby dolly, I'm talking about like something you use to like move a refrigerator or something. Okay, he had a dolly with him, which I thought was kind of odd. Like, why would you be carrying that around? On that dolly, there was like a bunch of stuff, you couldn't really make out what it was, but sticking out of the top was an axe. A freaking axe, okay? I saw him park it like outside of the restaurant door. He just kind of sat it there. I'm just like, did this guy really just like sit an axe outside? So he comes in, me and my more attractive friend were working. She was above average attractive. Let's just leave it at that, okay? He forgot all about me. He went right for her, and that was fine with me. I walked away. I had to go collect myself. I come back. I hear him asking her if she works out and that she has a nice body. She was a minor, by the way, at the time. He says, would you want to go swimming with me sometime? And I grabbed her by the arm and I pulled her away from the counter and I said, girl, no, this guy, he was in here before and he's a pervert and he's creepy and he has an axe outside. So you are not gonna talk to him and we are gonna find a man to take care of his food because we are not gonna talk to him. And that's exactly what I did. That guy is crazy. He's probably an axe murderer, rapist, pedophile for all I know. And he had psycho eyes. Like, you know when somebody just has those eyes, like, they can just see through your skin? He had those kind of eyes on his face. Like, you could just tell that he was just psycho. Psycho. I felt like he could see through my clothing. Okay. Okay. My next bulletin on the list, 2 guys tried to sell me cheesecake. Alright, and this story kind of comes into play for more recently as well. So, months ago, I man the front of the restaurant. So, anyone that first comes in, the first person they are going to see and or talk to is me. And that is both a blessing and a curse. Mostly just a curse. These 2 guys had a stack of cheesecake. Just like little tins of cheesecake. I vaguely remember this. I don't remember exactly what they were saying, but they were like, oh, we're non-profit. We go around just asking for donations for... First of all, you're not non-profit if you're going around trying to sell people crap, okay? There's a profit in there somewhere, I think. He was like, oh, you know, we just, you know, take whatever people can afford to give us. In return, we give them cheesecake. And then they're like, you know, would you want to help us out? It's like, are you asking me personally, or like, do you want me to like get the business owner? Like what are you doing? Like, do you want my money? Like, or do you want to sell it to the restaurant? Like, what are you trying to do here? I was like, no, no. I don't understand why people try to sell people things while they're at their job. Like, I have to be here. I can't leave. I hate that. I hate when people prey on the weak because, you know, I can't be rude to you while I'm working. I can, but it won't end well. I just politely said, like, no thank you, and they left, okay? But they came back. They came back. They came back the other week. Like, I kid you not, the same 2 guys wearing the same exact clothes. I don't know why they had the same clothes on. They weren't even like uniforms or anything. They were like literally just the same exact clothing. I wasn't standing at the front. I was like standing kind of near the door, but like far enough away that I could run. Somebody was like, Adria, there's people up front. I was like, no, I'm not talking to those guys. I was like, no, I'm getting the manager because those guys are gonna try to sell cheesecake. And the manager sent them on their way. Why are you gonna go into a business and try to sell people something? They're at their job. They don't want to hear you trying to sell. Like, I'm here to make money. I'm not here to spend it, okay? Like, what are you doing here? Please leave. I don't even know where you would go to sell people cheesecake. Like, go to the freaking Cheesecake Factory. People want cheesecake there. The next bulletin says, trying to sell me T-Mobile. Another guy came in and tried to sell me T-Mobile. He comes in and like, at first I didn't understand what he was trying to ask. At first I thought he wanted to talk to the manager. He was being very confusing. He's like, I have a few questions for you about your boss. I was like, okay. Does your boss pay your phone bill? And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, like acting like that was like the worst thing. Like what business pays for your phone bill? Like, honestly, really? And he's like, oh, well, with T-Mobile, we have all this. And I'm like, dude, I've had T-Mobile before. Y'all suck. Why do you think I don't have you anymore? And this was literally right after I had switched phone services. I had switched from Verizon to Sprint. Literally just days before. And it's like, okay, I just switched. I'm not gonna go pay a bunch of money to cancel my contract just so I can switch over to you because you manipulated me at my job. Really? Bye, Felicia. Like, what? All right, the next one says you look like Scarlett Johansson. All right, so then there was this guy. I feel like every story starts out with, there was this guy. He looked a lot like Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. I guess just Aaron Paul then. Why didn't I just say he looked like Aaron Paul? Okay, he looked a lot like him. I can just kind of tell when somebody is like looking at me frequently. I don't know, I just get like this feeling that I'm being watched. I was walking around the restaurant a lot and I could just feel eyes on me from a direction and I'm just like... Then he like comes up to the front and asks where the bathroom is. I'm like, oh, it's over there. And he's like, okay, thank you. And like, he's just like making this intense eye contact. Like you could tell like it wasn't just somebody asking where the bathroom was. He knew darn well where the bathroom was. Like, where else could it be? Where else would the bathroom be? Yeah, it's outside in the parking lot. What? It's over there. Duh. So then he comes back. He's like, oh, you remind me so much of Scarlett Johansson. She's like my biggest celebrity crush. He's like, you're so beautiful. I was like, thank you. Weird. Okay. I was actually flattered. Like, that was actually nice. I can't even repeat this next part. He was like, I have to ask you, do you have a boyfriend? And I was like, yes. And he's like, that lucky mother. Yeah, I was like, oh. So that was weird. That was weird. The next one, I honestly don't remember this story at all, but it literally says in quotes, "You bet your sweet ass." I think I probably asked them a question and their answer was, "You bet your sweet ass." Okay, then the last one I have, this is gonna be a quick one. It says, "Symbol of the American chicken." So, my shirt I had on at work had a big peace sign on it. And this old man comes up to me as he's leaving and he's like, "Do you know what that symbol on your shirt means?" And I was like, "It's a peace sign." He's like, "No, it's the footprint of the American chicken." And then he just leaves and I'm like, "Oh, what?" It was so bizarre. All American old man over here, like I just work here. This is my uniform. I can't help it that there's a peace sign on my shirt. Footprint of the American chicken. And these aren't even all of the bizarre things that have happened at my work. I'll think of more and I'll make another list. Literally, something bizarre happens every single day. I kid you not. Something video-worthy actually happens like every single day. It's actually unbelievable. No wonder people think I make things up because like the stuff that happens to me is just ridiculous. And yeah, it seems like I would make this stuff up, right? I wish this stuff came from my imagination. I wish I could just say I made this all up. But yeah, that's what I deal with. And if you're still wondering why I'm antisocial, you might want to rewatch the video. So I will see you guys again in my next video. I know you guys really love my story time videos, so I'll be sure to do more of these. Let me know any other kinds of videos you guys might want to see. Also, by the time you guys are seeing this video, I will be up in Pennsylvania visiting with my family. I will be there from May 30th to June 13th. So any video ideas you'd want me to do with like my sisters or my mom or anything like that, let me know in the comments because my mom is a little hesitant to be on YouTube again because she did a video with me before and she thinks she sounded stupid, but I was like, no, you have to do it with me again. Leave any suggestions you guys might want me and my mom to do in the comments. I'll be sure to do character raids again with my sisters. You guys really like those. So, I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs. I love you guys. Bye!